So let's talk about some of the flavors of Christianity. I don't want to take too deep a dive into this, but there will be a test at the end of the week. There are there are actually three really interesting flavors of Christianity. One is evangelicalism, which is every word of the Bible is divined by God, and all the information that you need is there in the book, which leads to some wild interpretations. Something we can start with called textual variants, which at a certain time between all the Bible versions that are out there, there were more textual variants than there were words in the Bible. Most of them, 98% of them, are, thee, thy, thus, not really important. But evangelicals believe that all those words were divined by God, and that's a tough roadblock to get around if you want to use your reason, because you have liberal Christianity. And liberal Christianity takes into consideration modern knowledge, science, ethics, updates. As man becomes smarter, we become smarter about our faith. It's basically rationalism, which is, when you say progressive Christianity, people think, well, they're just liberals, and that's not true, because progressives feel like they're post-liberals. They think they've taken it a step further by taking a half a step back. It seeks to reform the faith via insights of the postmodernists, reclaiming of the truth beyond the verifiable history of the Bible or the factuality of the passages of the Bible. But at its core, it affirms that the truths within the stories may not have actually happened, which seems very reasonable to me. And then you get to the social gospel, which is really I hate to use the word interesting, but it's a social movement, and it's mostly Protestants, and it's about ethics and applying the Bible to social problems, inequity, poverty, alcoholism, crime, racial tensions, unclean environment, child labor. It really applies itself where the rubber meets the road. In whether you're, a Christian, are you going to go do something about it or not? It's the theology of the social gospel. Though comes down to if it's a tetherball, the connection to the pole basically is that thy kingdom come, thy will be done as earth as it is in heaven, which is found in Matthew chapter 6, verse 10, the Lord's Prayer. But they are also of that, what I offered a few days ago. They believe the second coming will happen, but can only happen when humans destroy their social evils by actual physical work here on earth. And it's liberal and conservative at the same time. And I think it interests and attracts a great deal of people. And then you have liberation theology. And liberation theology, while not thriving here in the United States, it's big in South America and Central America. Liberation theology basically is we're going to quit being oppressed. And if they shoot, we're going to shoot back. And it's a kind of radical theology, which I saw at work when I traveled to Central America, Panama, especially Nicaragua, El Salvador, Guatemala, that we're not going to take it anymore, and we're going to take the fight out to make a preferred option for the poor, so they don't have to sit around and say, well, it's just God's will that we're kept down. But it's very much It pissed off John Paul II enough that when he visited Nicaragua, he had a talk with the bishop about it. But it thrives in Central and South America. Liberation theology.